How's it going? Thanks again for tuning in back to my channel. Now, this video is important for those who think that your life has been always a pain or miserable. They've been always going through turmoil. There's always a sense of for some people it's dullness, for some people it's melancholy, for some people it's sadness, grief, and all this. Why? Right? Why? Is there a pattern for a group of people who are always in a position where they'll be sort of unlucky? All bad things happens to them since birth till now. There's always some sequence of events which will lead to some kind of a problem. All right. They have this huge resentment in them. When they look at others, they see that how come that person's life is okay. Yeah, he or she has the ups and downs in life, but generally speaking, they're having a good time. They are happy with their life. But why am I always miserable? I don't have a good job. I don't stay in a good job for a long time. My academic level is not there. My parents don't love me, or my spouse is suspicious of me. I don't have a personal passion. All sort of, they can go on and on talking about it. As an astrologer, when I hear their stories, for one thing is sometimes it's very sad because it can get very personal. But I do notice, and it's the prerogative of the astrologer to look for patterns, the patterns, because astrology is nothing but a science of statistics and probability, right? So I do look for patterns. Now, the patterns that I find in people who are like miserable and sad and, always mourning over their problems and all that, is that they have their Lagna in the sign of Vritchika, right? The Scorpio. They always, these people, like all the time, if you have this, if you have your Lagna in Vritchika, I can tell you for sure that you are always unhappy about something. No matter what, you may have the fanciest car, the biggest house, the most loving family, but you're unhappy. You're always unhappy. Your friends will be like clueless. What's wrong with you, man? I mean, you seem to have everything, but why are you unhappy? Because there's always a problem coming in your life. Some they can't even say it out. Sometimes it's overly personal. It could be a health related problem, right? And so on. So that is the pattern that I found. Okay, now let me tell you the logics behind that. So, right? Remember, astrology is all about empirical observation. You learn by observing something, right? So the Vritchika, by based on the Kala Purusha scheme, right? What's the Kala Purusha, by the way? Kala Purusha is a framework that all Vedic applications use. All right, Ayurveda uses it, Vastu uses it, even Shilpa Shastra. Shilpa Shastra is the science of building temples. Even they use it. It is a framework, a reference to align with the universe, with the cosmic energy. All right. If you're an aspiring astrologer, these are the basics that you need to learn. Remember Kala Purusha. Okay, just do a Google on that. Now, this by default, Kala Purusha says that the Vritchika Rasi or the Scorpio is in the 8th house, right? The 8th is a house of karma in action, as you know. The 8th is a house of Ayur Mrityu Bhava, life, death, right? Now, what does it actually mean? It means that a person will have to go through a very painful, a very bitter experience in order for him or her to learn what life is all about. It's just like the function of Saturn, right? It's just like that. It'll give you the truth. It'll show you the truth. And from there, one will need to, one will gain so much of knowledge out of that, so much of wisdom out of that. And their reasoning and discernment will change and they will grow spiritually. So the 8th is actually the house of growth, right? If you look at it, the 7th is the house where you'll actually prepare yourself to learn your mistakes, right? Which is why the 7th is a house of connecting with another soul, communion, kalatra, right? So one of the main things about the 7th is marriage. So in a marriage, you will learn so many things, right? So many things that you did not know prior to your marriage, isn't it? And that's just one example. And coming to the 8th, when when it follows to the eighth house, right? Your soul, it's basically the traveling of the soul, the journey of the soul, right? So when it goes to the eighth house, it will gather all that resources it has from the seventh and create a problem. Okay, not a problem, many problems. From there we will actually learn, and that higher learning is the ninth house. Can you see the spiritual evolutionary process? So from the first to the 12th, it is an evolutionary process. Okay, but anyway, the eighth, the Vritchika, by default is the house of giving you karma for you to learn. It's a very active house. It gives you problems suddenly, so that you will really understand the true essence of life, right? As such, people who are having Lagna in the eighth shows that the Lagna is basically what is your soul all about, or what is the very purpose of your soul in this Janma, in this birth, right? That's the first house, basically, the Lagna, right? Udaya Lagna, or the Ascendant. Now, having it at the 8 shows that your soul in this birth is going to go through a roller coaster ride, a turmoil. You know, the floodgates will be open. All the problems will come to you, and it is meant to be. Remember that it is meant to be. But at the end of the day, all these problems that you're going through will be for the betterment. All right, so I'm going to stop here right now. If you have the Lagna in Vritchika, please drop in the comments. I would like to hear it from you too, because this is important for my research. All right, guys. So thanks, and for those who are new, please subscribe. Namaste.